I got a new mic, and if apparently if you like hit the thing, it mutes it. So don't touch
Well, on
things.
my side, I continue to leave mine on. Now that I know where that on switch is, I leave it on and I've been running through batteries.
Oh my gosh, what how wasteful! You could just get retractable batteries.
That's a thing. Okay. I will be
Yes.
Googling.
Well, at least now you have perfect audio, so that's exciting.
It took so long for me to get here. Never
It was a long
would have
time.
made it. Never would have made it. We need to chop in some church people with their hands up, giving thanks. Never would have made it. Never could have made it without you. I would have lost you. As I said, my mistake. Oh, thank you, Jesus. And you were like, Jesus didn't help you. I helped you. I will
He
never
did not.
forget that. Jesus don't got no IT department, girl.
No, I'm the IT department.
All right, let's get this show started. Hello,
Yes.
everybody. Welcome back to another episode of That's Hot Pod. I am one of your hosts, Tam, here with my favorite person in the world, Christian.
Hello, everyone. We have a very exciting episode today. We're going to be covering some trends, or
Yes,
at
from
least, yeah. Go ahead.
from the 2000s, or as people are referring to it now, which I hate, Y2K.
Yeah, right. But
Like,
also, is it 2000 or is it after? Is it the tens? Is that the
oh, the
aughts?
aughts.
The aughts. But what is the naughties?
I guess the teens, like 2013,
Oh,
2000.
maybe. But yeah, so it'll be interesting because like that's whenever we were like, well, I was older. I'm
In
older
our
than you,
youth.
but yes, and so like I feel like that's around the time whenever I was going to fit them, or at least maybe on the tail end, and it was just like seeing all the trends and actually like being aware of them at that point.
Fit them. I won't just say fit them because I feel like that's big overarching, and people that didn't go there may not get that, like the connotation that comes with that. I will whittle it down to Hope Park. If you are in Los Angeles, if you ever been downtown and you went to the Hope Street Park, it's kind of around the corner from the Staples Center. So if you're a good gold digger, you might hang around there. You might look cute to spot an NBA player out there. But that's where I saw it was like a window into the world. All of the trends just passed me by. From, when Phoebe Philo was on with her, I was very much a Chloe for Phoebe Philo girl. I wore that tan beige uniform down to the ground, silk top, flowy top, cargo pant, like tapered, the whole thing. But girls are wearing the Jeffrey Campbell Lita boot. We were talking about this a little bit on Twitter. You need to
Yes.
follow at That's Hot Pod on Twitter
Yeah.
for the nitty gritty details. When we talked about the shoes that we wore, what was the Balenciaga boot? I
It was
had
the
the dupe. You said you
Balenciaga.
still want. I
Because
loved
like
them.
at some point, I wanted the Jeffrey Campbell version. It was the cheaper one, and of course, they don't come in men's sizes. And at some point, they had an offshoot. It was called the Damned, and remember they also had that like platform like booty.
Okay,
It was like
yes,
another
yes.
Jeffrey Campbell staple. But at some point, oh yeah, they also had the one with like the wood heel that was like
Mm-hmm.
huge. So at some point they like, went more like gender fluid and they had the Damned, and they shuttered that one not too long after. But it was like bigger sizes, gender inclusive. I think I got like one or two shoes from that collection, but um, I had to choose like, what is I going to get the boot like or the platform boot, or was I going to get the like, Balenciaga dupes? I really wanted them, but I ended up getting the platform, and I still regret it to this day.
I do feel like I missed my moment with the Lita boot, and it was really because of like a trend off, like we talked about on Twitter.
Hmm.
So my good friend, my best girl, Asha, was my college roommate at FITM, and she got the Lita boot. Like we were talk, of course, we're going to talk about what we're going to buy and blah 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 in the apartment. And she really wanted the Lita boot. She was lusting after it, and I ended up getting the Balenciaga, like the dudes. And I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. And she's significantly shorter than me. She's like a foot shorter than me. I have height insecurity. I'm 5'9", flat footed. So those Lita boots would have took me into outer space for sure. And at college Tam, she wasn't ready for that kind of attention. Me, 30 years old, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But back then, no. I would have cried and thrown up outside if I got one comment like, damn, you tall as hell. I would be like,
Uh, it kind of makes me think of like there was a documentary, and also it was also in her memoir, but Diana Vreeland, she had people like lean into their like so-called securities, and so
ah.
like with you, it'd be your tallness, like, lean into it, be even taller. I think she at one point, she told, Barbara Streisand, because the nose, like, make it, more pronounced, like, pronounce your nose, like, that is your, you know, unique characteristic of you.
Okay, like a peacocking sort of a thing.
Yeah,
She's giving you the
yeah,
tools to peacock. I
like, people
guess.
are proud of that.
I need
Most
to work
women
on
would
that.
kill to be that tall.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing is that women say that to me all the time, but it's
Mhm.
like in dating and everything that I've suffered when it comes to the men, like being tall has not served me well at all. You know how hard it was to get a prom date that did not look like I was kidnapping?
I don't know, you know how hard it is to get a prom date whenever you're in the closet? I think I ended up going
Okay.
with a group of people.
A orgy.
No, we were all so, like, wholesome. We went to, like, Johnny Carino's before. So boring,
Oh
so
my
middle
gosh.
middle of the road of America.
Yes, very middle America. Well, as we are here to discuss the trends,
Mhm.
what is your favorite of the 2000s or whatever we're doing, the aughts trends? We both picked. So what's your first one?
Well, I picked, these 3, but just off the top of my head, I wanted to mention people hate on how, like, I guess you and I were going to the club or whatever, it was, like, business casual, but
Yes.
it might have been bad, like, maybe, not the chunky necklaces or something, but I kind of like that, it was a bit more formal. Like, okay, so there's a
Yeah.
TikTok circulating right now, and that lady, did you see it?
I don't know what's happening to club culture, but the girlies are not wearing heels in the clubs anymore. And as a 34-year-old, I know I don't look my age, but as a 34-year-old, do we need to come out of retirement and teach the girls how to wear heels or like what heels you need to shop for when going out in the club? Because the amount of flats and sandals that I saw is just like part of the thrill of going to the club is dancing on the couch in your heels. You got to figure out how to strengthen those ankles so you don't break them. Like how to maneuver. Like it's a rite of passage. I feel like you don't appreciate wearing a flat if you aren't dancing on the couch in the club. I don't know, y'all. There's just something about a cute little heel. You know, you just gotta. We gotta figure it out. We gotta bring heel culture back to the clubs because what are y'all doing? What's going on? What are y'all even doing? What's the purpose of? What's the purpose of going to the club if you're not gonna dress up?
With her awful.
Yes. She's tearing the black community apart, boy.
Yes! Okay, and so, like, the outfit wasn't that great, but also, I do like it whenever, people put in, like, put on the dresses or wear the heels. It was like an event to go out because, like, otherwise, you know, everything's so, like, laid back.
Mundane.
Yeah, it's just make something special. Anyway, I was a fan. Okay, so this leans into one of my first trends. It is vests. They're, like, huge, and which I'm a fan of. I have a ton of vests, and, they were in the, like, push to the back of the closet because I didn't know if it was, like, appropriate or they weren't currently in. I coulda just worn them anyway. There's one favorite one, which I will never not wear. It's a denim one. Like, denim is always in, especially a denim vest. But,
I agree.
but
Denim's
yeah, so,
always
like,
in
now
too.
all the vests are in, and, right now, currently, so, like, because it's summer, you can just wear them as a top, of course.
You know who some of my favorite vest wearers were? And hopefully we're definitely gonna get some pics in.
Mhm.
But off the top of my head comes in Fergie. In her Fergalicious era, that
Oh,
girl was getting a
yes.
vest off, a denim vest, like
Totally, like the
boobs
little
pushed
ones.
up,
Yes.
waist cinched in. Like, yes, Fergie was fucking the vest up.
Mhm.
Then second, we're gonna give it to my girl Nelly Furtado,
Oh my
promiscuous.
gosh, yes.
She also rocked a mean vest.
I can, like, as
And
soon as
then
you said it, I imagine it, yes.
yeah, and then there was of course others. There was Ashley Tisdale. There were other people that rocked a vest, but nobody did it like those two in my mind. Fergie and Nelly Furtado, they stick out for me as the winners of the vest
Another
trend.
person who was, like, significant of that moment was having a, like, kind of a resurgence, is Ashley Simpson, and she was all into that,
Oh
like, cargo
yes.
pants, big pants with, like, a tiny shirt
A
and a
vest.
vest and the
I
disheveled
love me some
hair.
Ashley Simpson and her Pieces of Me era when she was
Pieces,
dating
yes,
Ryan Cabrera.
yes. Also, by the way, I think it's like she just celebrated 20 years of that album because I just saw it on TikTok and, yeah, she had like she did a performance for it, the album, which was so cool. It was in LA. You should have gone.
God damn it! I know. I'm not on the Ashley Simpson fan list or nothing. I put her behind me.
Oh god. You can see it on TikTok. It's fine. You didn't miss much.
Okay, I can watch it. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So
So
vests, love them.
this my first favorite trend of this era, and
Mhm.
it goes lovely with the vest, is a
Mm.
low rise pant or jean.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you see like in between.
Yes, you're showing midriff. I grew up in a very religious household, and it was like showing midriff was like showing butt cheek.
Mm.
Oh my God. And I remember my neighbors were like, oh my, we're not allowed to listen to Britney Spears because she shows midriff. And I did not know what that meant at the time. I'm like, what? She shows what? And then I had to go home and learn, like, oh, I can't show that either. But like my feeling will take it so far I can't enjoy a little hit me baby one more time. But
Right.
goddamn, this little strip of stomach is getting the people out of control like that.
It's kind of like people with the ankle. Whenever they're all covered
Oh
up,
yes.
like, oh, that
I
should
remember
be.
that. Or like
And
the
right
back
now,
of the neck.
yes. And of course, like at this point in society, especially like in America, everything's seen everywhere. And so now everybody's apparently about all the feet.
Oh yeah. It's just the fetishes are going further and further.
Right, right.
On the topic of like trends, jeans, and what people can handle in public, I love to plan an outfit, especially if I'm going on a trip, I'm going somewhere. I love to plan my outfits. And I often rope Christian into this unwillingly, unpaid intern. I rope him
Very
right
true.
in and I show him my ideas. And I'm like, what about this? What about this? So he did a lot of painstaking consulting with me. I go to Egypt. I get out there, none of the outfits are going off. So he texts
I
me,
know. Oh
like
my
when I have
gosh. I was like,
service,
where are these outfits?
he's like, because he worked hard. He's like, where is the white outfit? And I was like, Christian, the way these niggas acted over jeans, I would never give them a mini skirt. I would never, because they weren't used to somebody showing maybe a little midriff, maybe a little hip out on the edges, a little booty in pants. They weren't used to that at all. So I know if I would have came out in that white mini skirt, they would have set the streets ablaze. The Muslim
Uh,
Brotherhood would have came back. So
just so
yeah,
you
in
know, she had
America,
so many cute outfits in theory.
I did. In my bag as well. They did not get worn.
Oh, so you actually
It
did
was
take
unsafe.
them.
I took everything. Yes, I was ready. But when I got there, the treatment that I was receiving, the looks that I was getting, it
Mm.
wasn't welcoming.
Instead, you were giving like 90s tomboy,
Yes, I had to. I had to.
like
I even
on
have
the
a fling side
TLC
by
tip.
side. I ain't too proud of it. Oh, sad.
What is your
But
next
yes, a
trend?
low-rise
Oh,
jean.
yeah. Yeah.
I also felt like that led to a lot of like the scantily clad nature of the outfits in the 90s because you already had a lot out, like borderline butt crack.
Mhm.
And then Mariah Carey took it even further in another iteration of this trend I love with the waistless jeans.
Yes. Okay. I remember that for
If
sure.
you've seen the Heartbreaker video, she cut the waist off them jeans, and that was even lower, so she's showing even more.
Yes, because all it was covering it was like, or keeping those on was just a zipper, right?
Yes, just the
Oh
zipper. And like
gosh.
girls did expose thongs. We'll put in Manny Santos from Degrassi. A lot of things happen with the low rise jeans.
But then also, I think it was McQueen, right? He had the bumsters, so you could say like partial
Ooh,
crack.
but butt crack. And I'm seeing that come back. I just recently saw a post by
Totally.
Megan Thee Stallion. I'll put that in. She had butt cleavage pants. I don't know if I endorse that,
Mm.
but Megan Thee Stallion, she's a world famous twerker.
True.
She have a little butt crack out.
Plus, she's a star. I don't know how she says it in Japanese, but star.
Oh, wakashi wasta.
Star.
That
um,
was so fun.
but I don't know. So, like, another one, I think his name's Ludovic van Sensernen, right?
Oh, Van
That's the
Cernan,
name.
yes, I love him.
Yes.
His clothes are so
She's so
sexy.
good. It's so sexy. And I think she's perfect because she's a celebrity. She can pull it off. Of
Hmm.
course,
Hmm.
whether or not her body is natural or enhanced, it doesn't matter because she's a celebrity. It doesn't care. She can pull it off. She has the places to go.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so they're bringing it back, and that like is a callback to our like your like low rise pants.
Yeah.
Um, there was one super sexy like pant that he did, and I feel like it was like laced up, so it was kind of like not crocheted, but the like a corseted kind of, but it went along the
Yes.
bottom, so up the
Hmm.
bottom. And I think that was really sexy. And of course, it's like super low.
Very low. You got to have everything waxed, shaved, ready to be seen for a wardrobe malfunction because the pants will slide down.
True. And then I don't know if people, the general public isn't ready for those. I feel like also they're not like going to the waxer and
No. And as you
yeah,
said on a previous episode, some folds aren't meant to
totally
be
not.
seen by the public.
No.
Mm-mm. No.
Whenever you said midriff and about how like provocative that could be, immediately like I had this like vision of like I don't know preteen me, and I'd see like teen people, and I remember there was like it was both Brittany and Justin in like this like their Teen People magazine, and like he had it was it's called the Happy Trail,
Oh, yeah.
so like
Yeah.
yeah he did this. It's like I guess not gender specific, so both can be like very productive.
Yes. And as we recently saw online with the viral post from Duke Dennis, the male crop top is back, which we also discussed on one of your favorite trends on a prior episode. And he didn't like how he got dragged and got LGBTQ plus associated because he wore a crop top, even though he's very, very extremely hetero sport playing
Oh
man.
really? Oh
Yeah, I was like, dang, y'all live a little, you show a little sex. Y'all would have died if Justice showed Happy Trail in these
right.
times.
And then so there's that whole also the other meme or TikTok about how like now the hetero men are like wearing crop tops and the shorty shorts and everything, and now all
Yeah.
the gays are wearing Carhartt and
Yeah,
like lumberjacks. I was like, what's going on here?
I've seen it. I've seen it as a role reversal.
Yeah, it's like they just flipped the script on each other, and I'm over here waiting for my with my vest,
and your
ready to go
and your
out.
Fox tool belt.
Yes.
Okay, one of your favorite trends is very, very close to mine. You said you loved the micro mini skirt.
Yes, it is a very specific time in my life, and immediately it calls back to like Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, A Simple Life, but also Christina Aguilera in the Dirty video. Um, and I feel like because that was like in my later teen years, and it was like very like bold, but also like women owning and being confident in their sexuality, and that is something to celebrate.
Yes. And I
Mhm.
also, being, in my formidable years during that time, I just remember getting to see all of these images, even in movies. I cannot recall the name of the movie right now. I don't know if that's going to bother me, but anyways, like Fast and the Furious type movies where you're seeing like a Devin Aoki character and she has the teeniest skirt, like it's barely covering up her butt crack from the top and her butt cheek from the bottom. And she's like switching down the street super fast. And, she's telling people what to do. And she's not really letting guys sexualize her. Like guys are catcalling her and she's like giving them the mean look. I love that era. And I think it gave
Totally.
me a false sense of security that you could dress super sexy and be left alone in public.
No,
But that's not the case, ladies. No. The cuter
no,
you look, the more you will be harassed.
for sure. Oh, what do you
So
think? Because I feel like the re I don't know, surgence of the trend was first probably like Miu Miu, whenever she brought back that like the pleated like khaki skirt. But
it was
also,
all
what do you
that work is that workwear collection where she like just chopped everything
yes.
super short.
Yeah. And I think that was one with FK Twigs, right? She walked that one. I
Hmm.
remember seeing that. We'll have to put that in there. But also Diesel has kind of had a resurgence, and that was an early like aughts brand. What do you think about that? Like, I don't know if it was leather. It was like a piece that kind of like wrapped around.
That belt,
Yes, but also it was a belt slash mini skirt, and it covered nothing.
when I saw it on the runway, I knew that it was not going, and we discussed it because we covered the show. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, this is cool, like how it looks editorially and all that, and how it's styled here, but in the real world, who's going to be able to wear this? And I, unfortunately, being an LA girl, have seen people try to wear it out and
mm,
it never looks good. Either the girl is, even if the girl is skinny, skinny, tiny sample size, like she's pulling it down all night because of the leather and the whole bonding, the way it's made, it rides up. So even if you move or shift a little, it rides up. She's pulling it down. On the thicker girls, they can barely have it on the Velcro on the side, and then they wear like something underneath or some type of, and it just looks crazy. Like it's too thick to be just worn as a belt. Even if you wanted to wear it like that Obi belt by Alaya,
oh
it's
yeah,
too
mhm,
thick for that. And then it's too short for a skirt. Like it was
yeah.
just, Who was in the meetings for that? Who was the
Right?
fit model?
And then, of course, because it did blow up on TikTok, enough people did purchase it as an actual like piece of clothing, which is unfortunate and also a waste of money.
And they're struggling outside. I see them. These girls are doing their best to get that money worth out the skirt, but it's worthless. Just hang it up. It's an archive piece.
Yes. Okay. So then that was an inappropriate skirt. But to call back to Diesel, Diesel also is known for their very like very mini bags, and this kind of like
Mhm.
this ties into your trend.
Yes. So
Hmm.
I love, 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 love. I blame my mom. A baguette bag or a shoulder bag, as they're
Okay.
referred to. Now, my favorite shoulder bag of all time, of course, is the Fendi baguette. Die hard Sex in the City fan. I grew up on that. I'm not one of these Johnny Come Lately watchers that's streaming it on Netflix.
I
I
know,
used to
right?
stay up at night. I used to sneak in the house and watch it on HBO when my grandparents was asleep. I'm watching Sex in the City, looking at the outfits, being shocked and appalled at the things that Samantha is saying. My young brain, I've got no idea what she's talking about. The baguette bag, beautiful. I really like the Prada versions as well. But
Oh yeah.
something about the Prada nylon, I don't know, it never seemed worth the money to me. I can never convince myself to buy it
Mm. I totally agree, and
because
that's what I
it's,
was gonna go next is
yeah,
because like, it is nylon, and I think that's something that they tote now is because they say that it's 100% made out of recycled fabric, right? Or
yeah, and it's
particles?
just stupid. And their Safano leather is fake too. So it's just like, I could
Oh,
never really spend
what?
the money on yeah, it's like stamped. It's
Oh,
just,
okay.
it's grimy. So I could never really pay to get the Prada bag, but that's also a super cute shoulder bag. So I love the Fendi baguette, the Prada. The Gucci Jackie is kind of too old lady for
I
me. Like
agree,
maybe
and
when I'm 40, 50.
right, and whenever you're saying these bags, are you talking about the Fendi, like, the print, logo print?
No, just the
Oh,
shape.
okay.
Like the baguette bag, I
Excellent.
enjoy it in all of the iterations. Like when there's different designers and they come and they put their spin on it, when they put sequins on it, when they have a Native American collection and they want to put Navajo print on it, whatever. I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I
I
think there
think
was
it's
this
fun and
one so I
exciting.
was talking to one of my friends, and she was, like, because it is, like, a big trend, the shoulder bag, and she sent me there was a lot of really cute ones for I think it was Staud, but also
Mhm.
called Gaia. They have a ton I think Staud was the one that
Yes.
had a bunch of, it was a bunch of beadwork on theirs.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
That's what Stott is known for.
Yes.
Also, one that I just found while I was up late at night shopping and I shouldn't be was the Coperni. Now I've seen the Coperni
Mm,
bag. It's like round
yeah.
and you slide it on. I've seen it in maybe like the glass and stuff like that on the runway, but I had never seen it practically in real life. And I saw a girl out with a rhinestone one, and I was like, "Oh, that's super cute," but still, I'm not a rhinestone girl. But
Mm,
then maybe 2 nights ago, I saw it. They have denim, they have crocodile, they have what? Give
that
me
makes
some of these
sense.
bags. Now, I don't know if the shape is too trendy that it won't last, like it won't age as well as the Fendi baguettes that I have, but I don't know. I
Mhm.
feel like it's a lower price point and maybe I could take the risk. You guys let me know in the comments. Do I buy the Coperni bag? And they have like some little platform sandals with it. It's giving me a Spice Girl vibe. I can.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
Or let us know in the comments if she should DIY one. The only reason I knew that there was that the shape existed beyond like the glass one that they did or the acrylic that they had
Hmm.
was I saw somebody and she was like a sewer on like TikTok or YouTube and she DIY'd her own bag of that shape. So should she DIY one?
Ooh, and do you guys want to see that? Let me know.
I
Let
know,
me
right?
know. I need to diversify my content. All right.
Mhm.
Um, the next trend that you have on yours is a trend that I took part in myself, so I'm not going to speak about it.
Oh, I don't know. I picked it, but I also like I loathe and love it. I think I loathe what it previously looked like, and of course, it's like cringe to see like old pictures. And we're talking, of course, about pants under dresses. But I feel like in the research for this, and also out and about, I have seen people like pull it off, and it look really, really chic. And there's this one lady I follow her on Instagram. She's super chic. She always wears like the coolest things and a ton of layers. And like the last night or whatever, I saw her video and she had like the sheer, like massive dress over like a full, like she was wearing a top and pants. And like it's super chic, but I'm like, that's too many layers and it's like $100. degrees outside. But, so I think it can be done. So, like, all these trends, I feel like they can all be pulled off. It's just knowing your body, but also proportion.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, and watch those prints because
Mm.
it's a very thin line between cute and clown when you're doing layers. And I have suffered from doing a little bit too much pattern mixing or having the proportions wrong, having the jeans too. I don't know. Because at that time when we were doing this trend, also, which disgusts me in retrospect, we weren't even doing it with skinny jeans for real. We were doing this with boot
Like
cut
standard,
jeans.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, so I have these boot cut big at the bottom jeans, and then I have this A line or empire waist dress on top.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, girl.
Proportions.
Christian girl fall, Christian girl summer.
Mormon. Oh my
That's
gosh.
what I was giving.
Oh gosh. Fully covered. But yeah, I've
Mhm.
seen a ton of pictures, and it was just like I I don't know. It's like in the research, I was like looking up just like the best ways to pull them off, and I don't see a reason for it at all to exist like during summer. It's way too hot. But but I totally get it for like a fall or maybe even, so like a transitional like weather aesthetic. Um and it can be done. It's just like totally about proportions. I saw a lot of dresses. Either it was like, playing with the like opacities. Like one of them was like a sheer dress, like it had a top underneath, but also it was like sheer, like maxi, and so like a nice pant. Um, Other ones was just like playing with so like a monochromatic look. Others it's just like it was like knits. So just like what am I trying to say?
What you're talking about. It'll be
Yeah,
like, okay, let's say she has on jeans and then
it's like a
a
matching set.
linen type of dress, printed dress
Mm,
on top, and then like a little cardigan, a little knitted cardigan.
totally, totally. So yeah, it can be
We
done.
wore we
You really have to you have to be like get styling
Mhm.
to like pull it off. Otherwise, you're gonna look
We
like
can
the
put in
most
the one
peasant
time.
Miley Cyrus.
Yes, for the High School Musical time.
Yes, don't wear a chunky belt. Warning.
We're gonna put in an example of what I think you're trying to say is when it's done right, and it's like
Mhm.
Rihanna, and she's wearing this sheer, big old like Jean Baptiste Valli type look over some jeans and like a little white T-shirt.
Yeah,
It
like
looked
volume.
cute. Yes,
There you go,
yes, but it's a
proportion.
thin line between that and Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes.
Mm-mm,
So yeah,
no.
it can be done really well. It's just it's not for everybody. So maybe we should have also ranked them and with like most challenging. So
Oh
not for the
yes,
faint
the
of heart.
difficulty level. This is on a high difficulty level. It's bright red. If you don't know what you're doing, leave this one alone.
Yes. Start somewhere easy.
Yes.
A graphic
For
tee.
my Oh, yeah. For my final favorite trend of the 2000s, it is a handkerchief hem. And
Mm.
I think you said napkin shirt earlier
Yeah, I
when
don't
we were
know
first
why
talking
I
about the
did.
idea.
Yeah.
It's around those same lines. I feel like that was like a going out shirt. My mom had that in the early 2000s. Like if you were going to wear jeans, you wear like a lingerie top to a
Hmm.
club or to out. Like that was sexy. But a handkerchief hem, I live for it. All of my favorite early 90s, even early, and it lasted that long from like not late 90s, early 2000s. All of my favorite TV shows, Two of a Kind with the Mary Kate and Ashley, Simply Irresistible, any movie with Sarah Michelle Gellar, all of these things, the girls were wearing handkerchief hem, very feminine, flowy dresses, even when they were getting
Yeah.
dissed, that they were, oh, it was just beautiful. And it just, I feel like that's the height of femininity. And if you got that bag on you, you can go over and you can find some vintage John Galliano for Dior, and you're going to look like a princess. It's just, I don't know what it does. It does something to me.
I feel like that's an easy one to pull off. And you're right. It's like totally like it's sexy if you do like the whole like lingerie. So like silky satin, like it's immediately it's like evocative of, to me at least. First, like how you said it was in the 90s, because it did last for a long time. It's giving like Lilith Fair is like what I envision. Did you ever like, you were probably too young for that. Lilith Fair? Okay. So it was like all women's like fest, it was just like it's Coachella, but just like all women and different like singer-songwriters. So it's like Alanis Morissette, Sarah McLachlan. Yeah, so like all kinds of people.
It's, is that lady, I'm a bitch, I'm a lie. She
Oh,
would be
she
there.
She definitely would have been there. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So it was all about, it
Ooh,
was
I want to
really,
go to this. Bring this back.
they should totally bring it back. Um, but yeah, so it's giving that because it was very feminine. It was like women fronted, but also it was like very people like owning their femininity. And it's like it was very celebratory of the woman, and that was really interesting. And I love that. But also, so like in the 2000s or the early aughts, it's giving Paris Hilton once again wearing
Yes.
like the top, but also the skirts with the handkerchief hem, the
All of
multicolored. And
it.
I think, yeah,
And I used
the
to see
paisley
her and
prints.
Nikki. Yes, back in the day, like her and Nikki used to match. Even if
Mhm.
it was like alternating match, like she would wear the pink and Nikki would wear the yellow. She would wear the purple, Nikki would
Oh,
wear the blue.
totally.
Like, and it would be handkerchief hem, little tiny delicate beading or rhinestones, just cute. Summertime
Oh, yeah.
sandals.
Color
Hmm.
blocking your friend group. Yes.
Like the Fanta girls.
Oh, yes. Totally. Yeah. So other like contenders I saw, I was like looking at what some of my favorite ones are, and something that I think we should leave behind, but I think it's like they're trying to have a comeback is Von Dutch,
Oh yeah.
the trucker hats, and
Hmm.
then I saw something about Affliction, Ed Hardy. You remember the tattoo like print, and then I guess I didn't know that Ed Hardy was I guess a person or something, and he sold the rights to his like designs or whatever
Yeah.
to
Yeah, he was like a
Christian
tattoo man.
Audige. And Christian Audige is the real perpetrator who like gave us what he's behind Von Dutch as well, right?
He worked in partnership with them and then he
Mm.
got caught scamming and then he went out and started his own thing, Christian Audige. And again,
Mm.
as a kid that grew up in LA during all of this intrigue, I used to beg for that ride across town to go to the Von Dutch boutique on Melrose by Fairfax. And then eventually it was like a little, like they cut the store in half or something. I don't know how it worked out, but it was like Ed Hardy too. And then they had Christian Audige, and you can go in there and
Mm.
you can beg your parents for some fucked up pants that cost $300.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then so like everything, like most of these, so a lot of these trends could even be found not only just in like Fergie like images, but also Fergie like songs.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
remember I can only think of so many songs which talk
Seven
about like
G's, true
true
religion. I say
religion.
no, but they keep giving.
And then in like the Sex and the City song she did, Labels Are Love, she talks about Christian Audige. So geez, like she was heavily sponsored by early 2000s.
It was a time, it was a vibe.
Yeah. That would be live. Also, so like it's
Yeah.
interesting because like whenever I was growing up, so like I guess it takes that long for a cycle to return. So like when I was growing up, a thing was like bell bottom pants. So everything that was probably like that so far, like the 70s, so what was back in style and that very like hipster, like hippie aesthetic. But now it's interesting because everything's so fast, everything's in fashion, and the cycles are so fast. What are your
Now,
thoughts?
and maybe it's because I'm on TikTok too much. But I feel like everything is a niche now and
Hmm.
everything is a crowd. And not only that, maybe it's because I'm older too, and now I have gone through, marketing education at FITM.
Hmm.
I understand how that stuff is not even as organic as I used to think it was. It's like now I'm very cognizant of, oh, this movie is about to come out and people are about to start dressing like this.
Oh yeah.
Or like right now, we did the whole Beyonce Cowboy Carter, and then there were other movies and stuff that led to that too. It wasn't like Beyonce just brought that Western wear out, it was already on trend. Like she was on the
Yep.
money. So now it's going to be, what is it, Showgirl, that's about to come out with Pamela Anderson. And I think that whole 90s
Mm-hmm.
Pamela Anderson, big hair, over the top, like Texas glam girl,
Oh.
bombshell look is going to be back in style. And it's already kind of leaning that way with the early 2000s. So girls are wearing like crop tops, baby tees, little mini skirts. The arts and craft movement is back. We've seen it on the runway. We've seen people do their interpretations, like little custom jeans with paint and things on. I think we're going to see a whole bunch of that. And these girls dressing like, if you've ever watched The Girls Next Door with Hugh Hefner, that's how these girls are about to start looking. Lingerie outside, like little lingerie tops. And it's going to be very sex kitten, bimbo core. But like you were saying, because of like everything is in, I feel like it's everything is trends and segments. So we have like the clean girl aesthetic, then we got the farm girls over there with Ballerina Farm, and we got the mob wife aesthetic. We have the 90s people that are always just going to dress 90s. We have the cholos. We also learned recently that
Oh,
Japanese people
yes.
are adopting cholo culture as well. So we
Yeah.
got that. Like, it's just whatever subgroup you want to be involved in. I don't think in America anymore we have like the big sweeping overarching trends like we used to before
Yeah,
there was social media.
totally. And then also,
Yeah.
besides that, a thing big on TikTok is the trend of non-trend or kind of like being, I guess, quote unquote subversive is just because like it's not because even that becomes a trend. So it's kind of like
Hmm.
whatever's ugly is in.
Yes.
It's
And I
yeah.
even saw people doing it with like the whole, oh, we're not going to be over consumer and we're going to
Mhm.
do everything vintage and blah, blah, blah. And then now I see creators that are literally going to Goodwill and stuff. And this has always been the case if you're a fashion person. But these people go to these events, these flea markets, all of this, and they'll put it on their TikTok shop, their Depop, whatever, for triple the price, quadruple the price.
Story I'd like to hear more about is how you come up with the pricing for your items, but more importantly, finding the people to pay those prices. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be vulnerable. This is coming 100% from a place of jealousy. Starting off with this children's Abercrombie dress that's probably less than 10 years old and didn't retail for more than $50. $138 that you could find all over the internet for under $20. How, why, and who? A random 2000s Abercrombie long sleeve thermal. $130. Couldn't have retailed for more than 60. Where do you find the people that shop on the internet but have never heard of Google Lens? $11.98 on Mercari. Maybe I need to flip the script. Let me ask the buyers who had purchased from such Depop accounts. $250 firm for this denim coach bag. Why do you prefer to pay $250 from this listing, while on the same app it's being sold for $55? If Reselling 101 states something is only worth what someone is willing to pay, where the fuck did you come up with prices firm at $298 for Forever 21 used shorts that have sold for $13, $10 new with tag, and as low as $7? Oh, I'm sorry, $5.
Girl, you just got that shirt for 99 cents. Now you're selling it for $30
Mm,
because you styled it on a mannequin in your room. Or the people that are going out buying the vintage stuff and then repurposing it, sewing it, cutting it, putting laces on the Levi's that they get from Goodwill and then reselling that. I don't really have a problem with it when I feel like you changed it and you added some sort of unique design element to it. Sure, at that point, sell it for whatever you want. But
mhm.
just y'all going and pillaging these dead people's clothes and bringing them back to us like it's new and putting these designer clothes prices on it, you will never see heaven if you believe
Right.
in it.
One last thing. I do you remember you said something. It was well said that damn, how'd you say it? You said something along the lines that there's always going to be a conservatively attractive, um, like baseline.
Well, traditionally attractive.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a measurement. We're not getting away from that. I didn't make the rule. You didn't
Yeah.
make it. We're young. We just got here.
Yeah.
But
We just have to live by it.
There's always going to be a baseline of if you and I could probably do it for every country because again,
Okay.
marketing student. I've been to all the Vogues, all the L Teen Vogue, everything. If we're in America, it doesn't have to be like this anymore, but we're gonna do it just standard. It's election season, right? We're not gonna be politically correct. If we're in America, if you're a white girl that's blonde, that has any type of colored eyes, blue, green, hazel, and you go outside and you wear one of those milkmaid dresses with the little flowers on it and some sandals, you're getting chose. The men are gonna give you compliments. The old ladies, oh, you look so beautiful. You look great. Same thing. If you're a black girl, if you have your hair done, and you black girls know what I mean by that, if you have some type of straight hair, straight adjacent hair,
Hmm.
minimal nails, let's say you got French tip, you're a black girl, you got straight hair, French tip, um, a little clean white t-shirt on, a little tight baby tee type t-shirt, and some jeans, you're getting compliments all day long. People are gonna compare you to famous people. White people are gonna compare you to celebrities. Oh my God, you look like Janet Jackson. You look like Kerry Washington. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, that. That's what's going on out here. Latina girls, you put that red dress on and you're out here. You,
Meanwhile, when I do
you ain't
it,
paying.
people look at me weird.
I love it when you dress up. When you put those platform heels on, I know. What is your favorite song from City Cinderella? Dance on it.
Go listen to JT's new album.
Yes, support
Yeah.
the girls.
Yeah.
And let us know your favorite 2000 trends in the comments. Oh, I'm going to give an honorable mention to Coach, because I feel like they've fought, they've scraped, they've done everything they could to bring them to rise from the ashes and come back.
And they're doing really well. Like,
They are.
yes. So kudos to them.
Kudos to them. Let us know your favorite 2000s trends in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Spotify. We're desperate. We need people over there. You're making us look like bots.
Oh no, that's Twitter. Let's follow us on Spotify too, but definitely Twitter, because yeah, there's a bunch of like random sexual bots that are following us.
Elon, you on there talking shit all day. I see you, boy. Why aren't you doing something about these fake accounts? What's going on? And they're all sex bots. What's up with that? There's no wholesome robots?
People always get me confused with the sex bot.
Love it.
Oh, well, thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
Oh, wait. I will edit this in.
Yeah.
And for more 2000s core, make sure you listen to Genie in a Pod by Christian. This is All Things Christina Aguilera podcast. If you want to get inspired to be sexy, to be fearless, to be a fighter, listen to Genie in a Pod.
Yes. Oh my gosh. One of my friends. So like that's the whole premise of this podcast, by the way. It's just Christina Aguilera, and it's like deep dives, and it's information that I know too much about, and I don't know, maybe I'm on the spectrum, maybe. But she asked me, because she followed the podcast and blindly, and she just thought it was me having a podcast about who knows what. And then she was like, she told me in person, she was like, but why can't you talk about anything other than Christina Aguilera? And I was like, that's the premise of the whole podcast. And she did not understand
Read the font.
That's why it's called Genie in a Podcast. And she was like, oh, I thought you were just saying you're the genie. It's like, no, that's the podcast.
Not everybody has a PhD in pop culture like you and I. All right. Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.